Okay, let's begin. Just grab your spot. Just take a moment to feel and wiggle around. Feel around in there. Feel into your breath in your belly. And just feel around for whatever we're working with today. What's the state of being? How much energy am I working with? Do I feel tip top, or maybe I need to take it easy and gentle? How does my body feel? Anything super tight or painful in there? How much of a breath can I gather? Or is it going to be a easy, gentle breathing day? Skip some of the heavy, deep breathing. Just kind of feel around in there and settle in. Exhale, adjusting breath. 3 cleansing breaths. From my experience, one of the most powerful medicines of all the things we do is right here. Taking pauses, deep breathing. However deep that is for today's body, squeeze it out into the belly. Inflate from the belly up to the chest. Feel the fullness in the chest. Squeeze it out down into the belly. Squeeze it into the belly and let it fill back up. Hold it for a moment and release. And activating the hands. Be vigorous or slow. Simply holding the hands together. Maybe rubbing the hands together. Breath in the belly. I'm making my breath pretty loud so you can hear it, but yours might be more gentle, a little more quiet. And release. And reach your fingers towards the ground, as if you could dip your fingertips into the soil, even if that soil is beneath the foundation, even if that soil is far from you. Just imagine you can reach it with your fingertips. And while your fingers and arms stretch and reach out, it's kind of pointing down and out. Just imagine your toes and your feet begin to do the same thing. Just taking a moment to get here in this body, in this heart, in this awareness, in this moment. Once again, adjusting breath. Fill from the tailbone up to the head. The head down into the tailbone. You can do the little cat paw, pressing with the paw, the feet, or twist. Breathe from the feet up to the head. From the head down into the feet. As if you could scoop into the earth and breathe the earth up to the sky. From the sky down into the earth. Clasping the hands behind the back. Start with one leg and start to feel it out, work in there. Maybe slow and deliberate. Maybe start to move a little bit more. You can work a hip and the pelvis. Maybe you can barely get your heel off the ground. Maybe it's just super light, easy, gentle motions. Just feel around in there a little bit. We're the only ones who truly know how we feel and what's going on with us. The more time and practice I take of tuning in, of checking it out, what's happening in my body, my emotions, body sensations, what's happening in my mind. The more I breathe in my belly, feel in my body, the more present I become, the more likely I'll know what to do next, or what to do now, or what is best for me. Just activating the feet and the legs, and it might be just barely getting the heel off the ground. Just that might be today's body, and that's great. That's what we're working with. That's what we want to do. Breath in the belly. And slow it down and release the arms. Shaking the branches of the tree. It can be slow and light and deliberate, easy. Might become vigorous. The body likes what's happening. Just for a moment, just shaking free. Just letting loose, opening up. So open up the body as we become spacious inside. As we shake free anything that got stuck, stagnated, blocked, anything that got disconnected, allows for the opening to reconnect. Yeah, relax. Hands on the hips, riding the body side to side, shifting the weight, feeling the breath in the belly. Feeling the feet connecting to the earth. Feeling my weight go from one side where my knee bends a little bit to the other side as that other side lengthens. Kind of push me and guide me over. My other side catches me. I have a little bend in my knee. And that leg begins to lengthen and pushes me to the other side. Instead of leaning and losing balance, I seat myself right in here. And it keeps me upright. And shift, and now really lengthen that side leg. Really lengthen it up. And if you can reach up with the opposite arm, go and do that for a moment, and stretch from the opposite foot all the way to that hand. Just light and easy. We're not going for crazy stretching right now. Yeah, bring it in, riding side to side, breath in the belly. And then moving to the other side, this time really lengthening that leg as much as I can, support it on one side, and if you can, reach the other arm, almost like you're doing a disco dance. The stretching from that opposite leg through the body, opening up the body. On the side that your knee is bent, gently press your big toe on the ball of your foot and heel into the ground. Feel the connection there. Press your big toe down. And release and center. Riding the body. Breath in the belly. Feeling the sensation of weight going from one side of my body, landing, moving to the other side and landing. Just continually reminding my body, connecting with the sensations of my body. Breath in the belly. Sensations of my feet on the earth, grounded. Sensations of my spine and my torso and my back, my head reaching up. Breath in the belly. And then shift to the other side and reach. Really lengthen that leg. I'm not going into a crazy stretch, but I'm helping my body to communicate and open up from one side of my body to the other. Stretching, lengthening the soft tissue connections. Increasing nerve health. Yeah. Bring it in and ride. Breathe in the belly. And seat to one side and stretch. If I can't, reach up, I reach out, somewhere else. Or I could even just stretch like we did earlier. I could reach my fingers down into the ground. Essentially accomplishes the same thing. It's less about how dynamic the body movement is. Until we're ready for that level, we only do what we can, and that's enough. And bring it in, center, relax the arms, trunk twisting, and pushing from one foot to the other. If I exaggerate it, that might push me to the side, but instead of pushing to the side, I let that translate as a gentle rotation of my hips. As my hips rotate, it moves my spine, moves my shoulders, then my arms. Breath in the belly. If my body likes what's happening and I can bend at the elbows, I lift my hands, lightly tap my body, that same kind of diagonal connection, and crossing over the center line, letting my right and left communicate, allowing a balance that happens on its own. Eventually, little by little, what I repeat, I become. The more that I can do these kinds of things throughout my day, cleansing breath, a little bit of cat stretching, a little bit of whatever I feel in that moment. The more often I do that, the more that becomes my normal. And then when things get too intense or whatever's going on, then I've practiced long enough that I naturally begin to soothe myself, that it doesn't take as much effort. I don't go as far into a crisis or an upheaval. It's easier for me to reclaim the moment, my breath, my body, breath in the belly. And let it go. Hands on the hips, riding side to side. Yeah. Sit to one side, turn the hips like a handle, let the toe turn out on the heel. And if I can't pivot on the heel, I just balance for a moment, turn my hips, and that turns my toe for me. And I sit back for a moment, and then sit forward for a moment. And then bring it to the center, bring it back, turn the hips like a handle, turns my toe in, or I simply balance for a moment and turn my hips. That pulls my toe. And now my feet are parallel and I'm right in the middle. Breath in the belly. Let's put our hands on our belly for a while. Even just this is enough, seated or standing or lying down. Hands on the belly, breath in the belly. That's all I've got today. That's all I've got. That's enough. And then I shift, turn the hips like a handle, toe turns out, or I could make the adjustment. Sit back for a moment, still nice and rooted in my back leg, and then ride the stance forward, rooted into the front leg. Breath in the belly. Shift the weight, turn the hips, find the center right between the feet as if you're the design of your body, right? That crease in the hip and thigh, pointing down towards the pelvic floor and tailbone, pressing down, breath in the belly. Feel it in the big toes, the balls and the heels of your feet, breath in the belly. Let the belly expand on the inhale, contract on the exhale. Self-soothing, like a baby with all needs met. Just imagine if that was what happened for you. All your needs were met as a baby. And you're resting peacefully. Breath in the belly. And even here as I stand still, I could be cat pawing with the balls of my feet and toes. I could be gently twisting and swaying. If standing perfectly still is just too much right now, doesn't feel good, then let your body feel good. Move the way that you need to, even if whatever's happening around us or outside of us or being guided is different. I'm always free to make it good for me. And then shift, turn the hips like a handle, toe turns out. I'm going to sit back for a moment, breath in my belly. And then I ride the stance forward, breath in the belly, nice and upright in my spine. And then sit back, toe turns in, find the center. Shift the weight, toe turns out. Where I pick up and then make the adjustment. Shift forward now and let my back toe turn in. So now I'm in a natural stance turned at the side, like I was getting ready to take a step. And then I'll ride, sitting back. So both toes are kind of, the front toes pointing straight ahead, the back toes at a slight diagonal. But I have good ambulation. I can bend both legs comfortably. I can ride my body. I feel the weight go back to my back foot and leg. Feel it in my thigh and my leg and my calf. And I let it come forward. I feel it in my front foot, calf, thigh, hip. Sit back, breath in the belly. Shift forward, breath in the belly. Even if I was seated on my chair, I could still do this. As long as I have enough room, sit on the edge and position my legs. Ride forward, breath in the belly. Feel the strength of that front leg. Ride the stance back, balance a little bit. Feel the strength in the back leg, breath in the belly. Now, front toe turns in, shift the weight, bring the feet parallel, find the center, breath in the belly. Maybe I want to connect my belly and my heart together. And shift, turn the hips like a handle, toe turns out. So my weight's back, so my front foot can make the adjustment. I can bounce enough to turn it. If I wanted to move in that direction, that's what would happen first. I want to get my toe to turn, let my hips turn, and then shift forward. Now I can make the adjustment on the back foot. And then sit back. Hand on the heart, hand on the belly. You might switch hands occasionally. Change up the position of your arms. Breath in the belly. And then also feel it up in the chest. Ride the stance forward, exhale. Breathe from the belly up to the chest. Let squeeze from the top down into the belly. Continue breathing. Sitting back. Exhale. Breathe from the belly up to the chest. Feel it move into the hands. And squeeze it from the top down. Top hand to the bottom hand. Riding forward and back. Just find your own rhythm. Might be a little faster, might be a little slower. I just found that after a few movements that my back foot wanted to turn out a little further. That was a little more comfortable for me. Letting my hips turn, letting my body move as one. Breath in the belly. Just little by little, calibrating my systems, reminding my body of what it's capable of, indicating to my body that I am alive, and as much as this body can, I move. I rest when it's time to rest, and I move when it's time to move. And both are easy for me. Even if my mind rejects that idea, by virtue of my movement, and that I continue to repeat these things, that's a louder voice than any negative self-talk that might happen. Breath in the belly, moving the body, seated back, toe turns forward, feet parallel, and shake it out. Shake a leg, or step in place, or just kind of cat paw, dream walk kind of stuff. Breath in the belly. Arms out or arms down, wherever you like to hold them. Gentle fist opening up from the pinkies, winding big open, splayed open fingers. Palms up and rolling the pinkies in, each finger subsequent into the palm, palms down, thumbs wrap around last. And if it's more comfortable to hold the arms down or to the side, I can do it that way. And then let my body gently, naturally twist and sway. Maybe I do a little bit of a spine wave and let my pelvis come forward and back. Whatever is feeling good to me right now, that's what I do. And if I feel like I want to move a little faster and that feels better, then I do that. If I need to slow it down or take breaks while it's happening, I do that. Breath in my belly. Maybe I want to move my arms around a little bit like I'm doing. Seems to be the thing. Opening up all those tissue connections, nerve ending health, nervous system health. And let it relax. Let's go ahead and turn the toes out a little bit. If that feels good. It opens up the thighs and the groin a little bit. You can widen the stance. You could be in a chair. Just make your body, lower body comfortable, and then sit into it. Hands on the belly. One hand comes out and rises, aligned with the center, the heart, the chest. And let my hip turn. Move my hand, waving hands like clouds, coming down. Turn from the hip. I can even let my weight go a little bit to the side. I don't have to go too far and strain my knee joint. Maybe it's just an inch to the side. Or maybe I feel better staying perfectly centered. Maybe I do a little bit of each. Feel your hand on your belly. Feel the breath in the belly. If your breath is more gentle and soft or faster, slower, whatever your body's doing is just fine. And find the center. Maybe it's time to adjust the feet. Maybe bring them in a little bit. Maybe grab a chair. Maybe whatever it is. Maybe you're feeling tip top and you want to go wider. The wider I go, it helps to have the toes turned out a little bit. An open horse stance is what we would call that. Hand comes up. So I turn from the hips. My hand still stays out in front of my heart. Comes back down. As I've turned, it's slightly aligned me with the right side or whatever side of the body you're on. This will probably be your left. And I turn. I could shift the weight a little bit to the side. Shift the weight a little bit to the other side. I might have to adjust my toes. I just found that I wasn't quite in the right spot that felt the best to me. So I made a little bit of adjustment. Maybe I'm pacing myself and I have a long day ahead, so I'm going to dial it back in and make my legs a little bit more comfortable and easy. Maybe I feel nice making a big circle. Maybe that's what my body wants right now, a big open circle. Or maybe it's a small circle. Maybe that feels better for my shoulder. I tend to be from the hips to the shoulders, kind of up towards the throat, but all those are equally good. Follow the breath. Breathe and feel into the belly. Bring it to the center. And let the other hand come up, and actually let both hands come up, almost like you're going to give somebody a hug, hugging behind the shoulders and lower back. And then we're just going to turn to one side. One hand comes down, the other comes up. And I'm feeling like, okay, I want to press a little bit into my legs. That feels better. My hips turn a little bit. Maybe you're feeling like shifting and swaying a little bit more, twisting and rocking and feeling into the body, breath in the belly. Maybe you're moving a little faster. You've gotten the hang of the move. It feels nicer to you to move faster. Maybe you slow it down a lot. And moving slow feels nicer to you right now. Breath in the belly. What I repeat, I become. I focus, breathe, and tune inward. And as many times as my mind tries to get me onto tasks or worries or complaints, I call my mind into my body through my breath in the belly. Breath in the belly. Let's make it a bigger breath. Breathe in. Cleanse if that's what you feel. Letting it go. Breathe in. Letting the clutter leave. Breathe. Letting go of the chaos. Finding the peaceful center. Breathe. Even if that's not true yet, all I need to do is be able to move and breathe the best I can. One more time. And slowly shake it out. Shake a leg, step in place, roll the shoulders. Just take a moment to feel in the body. I'm moving kind of pretty fast here for the moment, but I could really slow that down and feel the little things that might show up. This tension, a tiny bit of pain that might indicate, be careful there. Be sensitive and nourishing. we're healing, something's going on. Listen to me. So I listen. Learn to listen to my body. And as I focus on my breath and my belly and learn to listen to my body, even though it may take 1,000 times, 10,000 times, 100,000 times, that voice of the breath, the belly and the body is louder than the scattered mind. Exhale. Inhale from the belly up to the chest. From the chest down into the belly. As if you could breathe from your feet up into your head. As if you could breathe from the top of your head down to your toes. As if you could scoop into the earth and breathe the earth up to the sky. And from the sky down into the earth. Activate the hands. Free to wiggle and shake. Or maybe you want to just gently twist and sway and move. Maybe you're seated in a chair and you just kind of rock a little bit in your sit bones. Or gently move the hips. And now let's put that in the lower back for a moment. All that heat from the friction, even if you don't feel the heat. There's a buildup of electrons. We're just going to let that move into the hips, move into the belly and the lower back. Just reaffirm, this is life. I am body. I am heart. I am mind. Shake it out a little bit more. Shake a leg. Hands on the hips, shifting side to side, riding the body, feeling the body move from one foot to the other. Breath in the belly. Sit to one side. This time we're going to pick up the heel and let the heel turn in on the ball of the foot. So if I wanted to change direction and go that way and let my heel come in, and so now my toes pointed, I'm ready. My belly, my toe, my head and eyes are ready to make that adjustment and go in that way. Shift the weight, heel slides back. Or I could balance and pick up my foot briefly. Sit to the other side, I bring my heel in. I'm seated on my back leg. Now I'm ready to take that step. Shift, center, breath in the belly. Shift, heel comes in. And turning the hips. Heel goes out or parallel. Sit, heel comes in. I corkscrew and spiral my way into my body. It pulls my, I'm exaggerating so you can see, pulls my heel in. And then as I uncoil, as I unspiral, my foot naturally makes the adjustment. Find the center. Shift the weight. Heel comes in. Sitting back and then sitting forward. Riding the body back and forward. Breath in the belly. Shift the weight. Take the weight off that leg so I can turn my foot easily. Shift the weight. Take my foot off the side so I can shift and turn easily. When we're walking, that transfer of balance from one leg happens pretty quickly, so we have momentum on our side. It's a little bit easier unless we're challenged to be walking. Right? Breath in the belly, riding the body, recalibrating, reminding my body of what it can do, what I'm asking of it, and it is grateful and happy to oblige. It might take a long time, and it might not go as far as we might wish. But whatever possibility exists for the health of the body, we invite that to happen. Sitting back, breath in the belly. Sit and turn. Heel comes in now. I shift forward, let my heel slide back. So the same natural stance turned at a diagonal. So now I'm ready to go in that direction. My weight's forward and I sit back. Breath in the belly. Shift forward, breath in the belly. Sit back, breath in the belly. One more time forward, breath in the belly. Now I can bring my heel in, my weight's to the front, or I can pick up my foot and make the adjustment, because now I want to face from the side to the front, so my toes need to point to the front. And I sit back, and now my toe, hip, and belly turn. So now my belly, my eyes, and my toes are pointed in the direction I want to be. And sit back, heel comes in, shift forward, heel slides back, or I pick up the foot and make the adjustment. As if the balls of my feet were in pegs. They're fixed where they are. Sit back, breath in the belly. Ride forward, breath in the belly. Seated back, breath in the belly. One more time forward, breath in the belly. And while my weight's already forward, I'm just going to let my heel come in or pick up a foot, turn it, toe forward. That's where I want to be facing. Take my weight off that front leg, so now it's easy to move, or easier. And shake it out a little bit. Shake a leg or gently step in place, or you can kind of cat paw and move around a little bit. Maybe you end up feeling like, oh, something totally different than that. And you're like, oh yeah, okay. Ooh, there we are. Shake it out. Adjusting breath. Gathering from the tailbone to the head. From the head down into the tailbone. From the feet up to the head. From the head down into the feet. As if you could scoop into the earth and breathe the earth up to the top of the sky. As if your hands could reach all the way up there and call the sky down into the earth. Relax the breath, relax the body, resting the hands on the thighs, riding the wave up. Oops, arms should come with that a little bit, huh? And ride the weight down. Like, I know this one. Why aren't your arms moving? Riding the body and inviting body unity, that my whole body moves as one. My legs lengthen, my arms rise, my knees gently bend, and my hands float down, my arms sink down. A universal oscillation of full and empty, expanded and compressed. The rise and fall, breath in the belly. Just feeling the body breathe and move together. My legs and my arms working well with each other. Enlivening my body, my cells, my breath, my heart. Soothing my nervous system, feeling into my body. One last time, big breath, whatever you've got. Cleansing, and release. I really like to vocalize it, so If you make more of a humming sound with it, resonating sound, it does wonders for the body. Free to gently twist, sway, and move as we gather from the sides and from the ground up. If I can reach all the way above my head, wonderful. If I can't, I reach out somewhere in front. Anywhere that I can is fine. And coming down the center as I refine and claim my body, the space around my body. And it may take some time before you feel like you can claim the space, the room that you're in, or even just the area of your yoga mat or whatever little area you might be in. Let that, at least for this moment, be a part of you, part of your safe, peaceful space. Even if that doesn't sound true to your mind just yet. If I can't reach out, I reach up, or maybe I did a few up over my head and that's all I could do. Maybe the rest of them are out here in front of the belly. And I gather myself in fullness. I receive myself in fullness. Coming from below the feet, up the legs, into the belly, into the heart, into the head, up to the sky. Even if I can't reach up there, I reach out instead. And then gently twisting and swaying and moving as the arms float down. Even if my arms are tired, and I just do this all right here, maybe in front of the chest, the heart, and the belly. As I begin to circulate up from the inside out, I gather myself in fullness and rise to the heavens, to the cosmos, and I shower and shine in all directions. Even if my arms don't go quite that far, I claim the space around my body, like a bubble, wingspan, personal space, breath in my belly. If I can't reach up, I reach out. Almost like you're swimming. Sometimes when I fly in my dreams, it's more like swimming. Give the gift of self-love and self-care. I receive the gift of self-love and self-care. Does that all settle a little bit? Just take a moment to feel around in there. And if you'd like to continue to stand, stay standing. If you'd like to get a chair ready, go ahead and get a chair. I guess a little closer would be all right. Just give you a moment to get comfortable. Even here, even now, I continue to remind myself to breathe into my belly. Even if I'm thinking or working on something, even if I'm doing hard manual labor, connect my breath to my belly. That gives me the energy, the oxygen that I need in my system to handle whatever it is I'm up to. Likewise, if I'm resting, breath in the belly. Hands on the knees or thighs. I guess I will back it up a little bit so you can see more of that. Wherever it's comfortable for you. Sometimes I do stuff where my hands are just right there on my hips and my thighs. And as we move into seated looking behind and beginning to make this stronger connection between the head, the heart, and the belly, these three main cores or areas of awareness, consciousness, mental energy, of heart, love, sensing energy, and vitality, physical power, life, embodied. So take a moment to find your body, find your posture, and I'm going to lengthen even though I'm not standing. Imagine pushing against my feet, against the earth, up through my legs, up through my head, turn the head, and I either look directly to the side or look behind. And then press my hands against my thighs or knees as I come from my head down through my heart, turning my head down into my belly, down into my feet, into the earth, and breathe in. Squeeze it. Let it go. Let that squeeze and release relax you a bit more. Looking behind, if I was standing, my knees would be bent and I would lengthen my legs, but I'm seated. So I'm just going to push my feet. I can even push gently onto my knees and up lower thigh to put a little bit more pressure into my toes and my feet, as if I was rising up through my body, turning my head, coming from my feet to my belly, to my heart, to my head, looking behind or looking to the side. And then I relax for a moment while I'm here, and then coming down from the head down through the body, pressing against the knees, rotating center. Gather a big deep breath. Squeeze it if you can, gentle or firm, and let it go. Maybe that feels relaxing and some amount of relief. Maybe it feels like that's too much right now. So maybe you just skip that part. And now with breath, exhale. Inhale from the feet up to the head. Turn. Look behind. Breathe out and down into the feet. Center. Pressing my hands against my thighs. Gather the breath. Gentle or firm squeeze of the limbs, toes, fingers, and let it go. Let it rest. Let your breath and body rest for a moment. And then exhale. Breathe from the feet up into the head and turn. Relax for a moment while we're up here, and then squeeze, press down from the head into the feet, center. One last deep breath. Gentle or firm squeeze in the body. Maybe it's just barely, barely, barely. Maybe it's tighter, and let it go. Activating the hands, breath in the belly. Now, like a warm washcloth, let's bring that to the face, the heart of the palm over the eyes and eye sockets. Maybe I rest my elbows into my rib cage, let my shoulders relax, let the back of my neck gently be resting forward, cradling my head, and I'm gently swaying and twisting my body because that feels good right now. Breath in my belly. Give the gift of self-care and self-love. I receive the gift of self-care and self-love. Breath in the belly, even if my mind rejects it, even if my emotions diametrically oppose that idea. Those things cannot resist the truth of the heart. I breathe in my belly. I take these self-care actions. I repeat them over and over and over until they become true for me. I allow myself to be amazed at what has the potential to change, what has the possibility to become true. Gently brushing the head and the scalp. Might send you off on a bad hair day, but it's worth it. Maybe massaging with the fingertips or just lightly combing through, or lightly tapping, or just lightly touching and gently moving. Maybe it feels nicer to just have your whole hand and palm going in there. Sometimes the light touches can be annoying, so maybe like a little more pressure. So let it be what's right for you. Working the back, the neck, the base of the skull, around the edges, down the jaw. If I felt any stress or tension in there, just flick it off. Brushing from the spinal column out towards the sides and down the neck. Maybe that's very light and gentle. I'm just gently placing my fingertips along the way. Maybe it's more like a firm massage. If I can get my hands to hook in behind my shoulders and my palms near my collarbones and shoulders, I can move my elbows around, and maybe simultaneously it feels good to work my spine and move a little bit in my hips. So everything we were doing, I could do all that, right here, even if I'm turning my toes. All that stuff I can do seated. Rubbing across and lightly down the center, and maybe you just move the fingers gently. Just gently around the waist, lower core, hips, inner thigh, outer leg. Equal pressure in the knees, up and down, side to side. Just doing what I can as I can. And even if I had to give it up a half hour ago, 45 minutes, maybe I only had 5 or 10 minutes of this in me today. And that's what I do. And if it takes me 3 months of that to get to where I can go further, then that's what I do. It's just one lap around the block. If I try to go for a 3-mile walk and my body's not up for that, then I could really hurt myself. If what I have is a 1 block walk, that's what I do. Maybe it becomes 2 blocks. Whatever I can do. If you can get your foot up and work that, or later on when you're on the edge of the bed or somewhere where you can reach that, or if you can't reach it and you've got someone who can reach it for you, that's always nice. Get those calves, shins, ankle. Maybe you have to be super gentle. Maybe you have arthritis or pain or something going on in there. It's just really just kind of placing your hands around. You're not actually massaging much of anything. Groin. All right. Let's do what you can. If you can work the calf, do that. Shin. Maybe it's super ultra gentle. Maybe that's not comfortable enough and you have to wait till later and you're on the edge of the bed. Or you got somebody that can help you out with that. It's super gentle, or maybe the body likes a more firm contact. And tapping the feet, the toes on the ground, and if you can't tap, then just kind of wiggle your knees and lift your heels a little bit, even if it's just barely, and just get a little bit of that tapping in the toes, rubbing the hands, breath in the belly. That's pretty noisy, so I'll just do the knee thing. Gather breath, everything up into the head. Hold it and let it melt all the way down. And just for another few moments, feel around, breath in the belly, slow and easy and gentle. Maybe you found somewhere that's just really asking for some extra love. So maybe I bring some energy to my hands through friction, muscle tension, and to the energy system of the body. I bring it to my hands. That's our natural thing to do. You bump your knee and you put your hands on your knee, right? You don't have to think about it. You just do it. There's something there. There's something happening. It's not just the soothing touch. There's an exchange. There's a circulation, a sharing. I give and I receive. I receive and I give. First, I learn how to do that for myself, with myself. And then it becomes natural and easy at the right levels and the right way to do with others and to do with my life. Breath in the belly. Just gently rocking myself, holding myself. Maybe my hands want to be on my belly instead. Maybe there's a part of my body in pain. Just hold myself there for a moment. I breathe. Maybe it's an intense emotion. Maybe my mind just becomes super chaotic and scattered, or it's cloudy and foggy. So maybe my hands need to be on my head for a moment, sort of my forehead and the back of my neck, back of my head, top of the neck. Maybe it's jaw pain, clenching the jaw, grinding the teeth, worrying and stressing, bracing for impact. Let go of the bracing muscles. It might take me weeks and months, but eventually my body will catch on. The nervous system will come on board with what I want for myself and what I do for myself. Yeah, one more deep breath. Like standing, gathering from the feet up, head down. All right, beautiful. Namaste. Sheshe.